Nasir El-Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna State, has defected from the All Progressives Congress, that's the APC, to the Social Democratic Party, the SDP. This move marks El-Rufai's fourth political party defection, having previously been a member of the People's Democratic Party, that's the PDP, also the Congress for Progressive Change, that's the CPC, and then the APC. El-Rufai's defection is reportedly due to his dissatisfaction with the APC's leadership and internal decay. He has been critical of the party's abandonment of internal democracy and its founding principles. El-Rufai aims to unite the opposition to challenge the APC in the 2027 election. The defection has sparked various reactions, with some seeing it as a strategic move to unseat the current president, while others view it as a polarising move that may not yield the desired results. Well, joining me on the show this evening to discuss this is Adewole Adebayo. He's a former presidential candidate of the SDP. He joins virtually from Abuja. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, let me start by asking you just, this open question. Former Governor El-Rufai is now a member of your party. Are you welcoming him with open arms, or are there reservations?
Well, I believe your producer or someone in your team should have seen my welcome message on X.
Yeah, we did see it. I mean, it's just good to hear it from you personally.
Well, that one was also posted by me personally. El-Rufai is very much welcome, 100% welcome to the SDP. We do not only welcome him, we invited him, so we are happy to have him. His coming is in response to our invitation, so he's a welcome member of the party.
So the SDP actually invited him and he came. It's not like he approached the party and said, I want to be a part of you.
No, because the manifesto and the constitution of the SDP both require us to go out and invite Nigerians to join the party. And even on this travel, many times I've invited Nigerians to join the SDP. And I'm inviting even you to join the SDP.
But aren't you worried that the SDP would make the fourth party he is joining? I mean, questions of loyalty too will arise. I mean, did the SDP also take this into consideration as to his motivation for being a part of you?
Well, we want people to join the SDP, and there's no requirement that we only want people who never belonged to any political party before. We only want people who subscribe to our manifesto, who respect our constitution, especially people who respect the constitution of Nigeria, who believe in one Nigeria, who believe that the people of Nigeria deserve good governance, people who are paying particular attention to Chapter 2 of the Constitution, so that the benefits of the fundamental objectives and directive principle of state policy can adhere to the benefit of Nigerians. Those are the requirements, and the person must subscribe to an undertaking to behave well, to respect the institutions of the party, and to respect the supremacy of the party. So those are our requirements. We do not ask people whether you have future ambition. No, we are interested in whether they will be good members. And if they are good members of the party, the sky is the limit to where they may aspire. Party.
Okay, may I ask what deal was reached for him to be a member of your party? I mean, for him to have agreed to say, you know what, I want to be a part of the SDP. What agreements, in detail, did you reach, or did your party reach with El-Rufai for him to concede and say, you know what, SDP is the way to go now?
Well, he has not been oblivious of all the alternatives that there are in the country. And even when he was in the APC, even during the last election, he was paying attention to other political parties, and he noted that we had our own distinct way of organizing our party, and we have our own manifesto that is unique. and we were selling with authenticity. And he has read our constitution, is an avid reader, and he finds in our constitution and our manifesto enough room for him to work as a person who cares about public good. So the understanding that we have reached with him is that, and the undertaking is that we will be fair to anyone who comes to our party, whether he joined today or he has been there for many years. We will face equal treatment under the rules. And that, I think, is attractive to him. And also because we're a party of intellectuals, so he doesn't feel isolated. It's not like other places where he has been, where intellectualism was regarded as an anathema or arrogance or a sin. In our company, he sees fellow intellectuals and he sees that we are open. You can disagree openly, you can have your own ideas, but the binding view is that you must respect the Constitution of Nigeria, you must respect the Constitution of the party, you must understand that we make decisions based on organs and institutions of the party. We are not under any big man or big woman. We have no single person who is the kingpin telling us what to do. We make our decisions within our organs, and I think that assures him that he will have fair treatment with the SDP.
All right. Let me just ask, was he promised a presidential ticket?
No, he didn't ask for it.
But you offered. But you offered.
He didn't ask for it, and he couldn't be promised, and it would be unlawful to promise anyone the presidential ticket. We don't operate like that.
No, I mean, I'm not saying automatic, but it was assured.
We're not a handbag political party. We're not a briefcase political party. This is a party with tradition. This is the party under which MK Abiola ran. We are a party that will do competitive processes. When you seek to represent the party in any election, you go through competitive processes. And he knows that I have a strong and almost certain presidential ambition. So he knows other people have it too. So I don't think he's coming to a place where he expects to be given any special treatment.
Do you feel threatened that he's a member of the party should the elections come now and he chooses to run for office? Because, I mean, like, you've been a presidential candidate of the party. You feel strengthened, not threatened.
I feel strength.
Okay.
More power. I feel more powerful because I believe that if the time comes to run for office, presidency in 2027, which I intend to run, having an El-Rufai on your side is a plus, not a negative. So I feel strengthened.
Okay, so you are saying on your side, meaning maybe as deputy?
No, I don't think it will work like that in the party. This is how we work. Someone like me who has indicated that I want to run, other people will join who also want to run. Other people who are in the party now who haven't said they want to run may decide to run when the time comes. So the party has that understanding very open. So if when the time comes and other people say they want to run, they will also go and talk to other people. So it will be left to every member to decide which of our members he wants to support. And then we go through the process, we do the campaign, we follow the rules, and when we do our convention, whoever is the winner at the convention will now be taken by the party, and that person will now consult with the party and go around the country, consult with members and leadership, and he may suggest, or he may ask the party to suggest one or two names for him to consider. He may also submit names to the party and say, do you have any problems with these names? And then one of them can be the running mate to the president. That's how I did it last time, and that's how I expect to do it next time. So there's nothing hanky-panky about the process. So
there's a possibility that you might pick him as a running mate, should the time come.
There's a possibility that many people would consider El-Rufai to serve with them. So I don't. Why?
No, I'm asking about you. I'm not even talking about others. It's you. Well, I mean, should there be maybe the primaries today, and you are given the free hand to pick a running mate? Would you consider an El-Rufai alongside yourself?
And El-Rufai will be considered everything. Even if you are setting up a committee in the party, you will consider him. If you are looking for leadership in the party, you will consider him. If you are looking for a running mate to run with a presidential candidate, you will consider him. It will be foolishness to have such a person of talent and not consider him. Considering him now doesn't mean that it's automatic. There are other people too who you may not know or you don't really care about, who are highly talented as well, who is known to me, known to El-Rufai, known to Sheikh Gala, known to many people in the party. So the SDP is not a political party just by the corner. When you take time to study the membership of the National Working Committee, there are people there who have served 2 times as minister, who have served in many capacities. There are many people of experience there. So El-Rufai is welcome home. That's why he's happier coming, seeing many people, and saying that, oh, these are people I know. There are people in our party who have run National Assembly before in the leadership. Bolika Akande-Adeola, for example, was the first woman to run for speakership in the House of Representatives. And she narrowly lost to Tambua and later became the majority leader. And she's held many other positions. There are many people in our party.
Okay.
So it's not a party by the corner. There are people who are senior to El-Rufai there. There are people who are junior to me there. So we cut across all
streets. Now talking about inviting
all kinds of demography.
Talking about inviting Nigerians to be a member of the party. I just recently also El-Rufai's son, Bashir El-Rufai, actually did give a very glowing remarks about Peter Obi. Permit me to read part of what he wrote. He said, Peter Obi is surprisingly not a bad person after all. My views on him have changed recently. My mind was poisoned by my former party members. End of quote. Let me ask, have you also reached out to Peter Obi too to be a member of the SDP?
Peter Obi knows about SDP very well, and it's up to him to know whether he wants to come in there or not.
Have you reached out to him? Has the SDP reached out to Peter Obi?
No, you only reach out to people who don't know about the party. So Peter Obi knows very well about the party. He's been interacting with the party in the past. So he knows the party very well. He's not a new person to the party. So it's up to him now, looking at what he wants to be, to decide which place he wants to go. I believe he still belongs to his Labour Party. So it's up to him if he wants to remain there, he wants to go elsewhere. You cannot teach Peter Obi on how to change parties. He's an expert in that area. So when his time comes for him, if he comes to the SDP, I believe that the party will welcome him. If he goes elsewhere, we will not be bothered. If he remains where he is, we also wish him well.
Okay.
So it's not really a problem.
All right.
To us.
You said he's an expert in changing parties, but my next question would be, should he decide to join your party? And just like speculatively, some Nigerians might imagine, maybe there's a merger of Peter Obi and El-Rufai. I'm still going to ask you that question again. Do you, as the former presidential candidate who also has an ambition to become president on the party's platform, do you still feel threatened?
How can you feel threatened by speculation when there are actual serious things to think about? Speculations will come. What if Bashali and another boxer decided to join our party? What if this happened on that? So what if Joshua and Israel Usman decide to come and join the party? Those are all speculations. What we are dealing with here is forming a formidable political platform, the SDP, talking to everyone who says they are not satisfied with the status quo, asking them to come and see our plan, to bring everybody together and to look at our manifesto and compare it to the situation that Nigerians are facing. And when somebody becomes our member, then we take cognizance of what they might be willing to, what their ambition might be. If someone is in his own political party, outside our party, is responsible to comment about the person. He's not a member of our party. He's not talking to us. He has his own aspiration. So why should we now leave our own members and be talking or speculating about other people outside the party. Prior to yesterday, I will not speak publicly about El-Rufai's ambition or not. But since I'm a member now, then I can talk about him. So if any other person becomes our member, we will also give that person proper representation if the public is misunderstanding the person. So that's how we are. So the reason why I'm speaking now is not because I'm particularly a spokesperson for El-Rufai, but he's a member of our party now, and the media is commenting on why he joined the party. We want to make sure you do not understand his motive, and you do not misrepresent his intentions, and that he has joined the party with happily, and that we are ready to work with him, and there is no ill feeling from the bottom to the top. Thousands of our members have been talking to me, and they've been quite happy that we're expanding the party. In fact, many people are joining who decide not to tweet about it or make it public. They just go their own way. There are people who are going to join next week. There are people joining tomorrow who are well known to the media, and it's up to the media to go and do their job. I'm not a reporter for News Central or any.
Okay, just also to ensure that the party, in a way, carries out its due diligence, because for Nigerians that are following this particular trend or story, there are also concerns that how do you know that some of maybe your new intakes, particularly those moving in from the ruling party, are not moles, political moles sent in to destabilize the party ahead of 2027. What background checks do you ensure that people moving in, particularly from the ruling party, which could also be a political strategy, are not sent in to destabilize the SDP?
You cannot destabilize the SDP. Who is that person that will destabilize the SDP? The SDP has a structure. It has a National Working Committee. It has a National Executive Committee. It has zonal committees. It has state executives, has local government, ward, and polling unit executives. How are you going to go and destabilize that? It's a party united by a purpose, united by a constitution that is well written and clearly understood by members and leaders. What are you going to use to destabilize the party? No, you can only come, make a contribution, and if you feel that the party is treating you well, and you can achieve your aspirations very well in the party, you continue. If you agree with more members, because decisions are taken democratically in the SDP, there's no big man here. There's no founder of the party that can say, I founded the party. Luckily, it was founded by the government in those days, and luckily, Chief Olufalaye led a team to reinvent the party. And since then, we've been working on it, making contribution. So anybody who comes, is just a member of the party. We are not like the other parties that lack discipline, that collect huge amount of money from individuals and make them to override institutions. No, there's no big man here. You can come to the party. The first person to pick a presidential form when I ran in 2022 for the primaries was a billionaire with 2 banks, but I had to give up and let us and allow us to run for it. So it's based on popularity in the party. So then nobody should come to the SDP feeling that there's no capture. The leadership is very fair-minded, and with a lot of young people in responsible position in the party, and there's no tolerance for indiscipline in the party. So there's no room. Any political party that got destabilized, the institutions of those political parties are weak. And those who are running the institutions have undermined their own authority by making themselves available to be purchased. Where institutions are strict and fair and reasonable, and everyone has equal access. That's why some of the names you mentioned now, they approached our party 3 years ago to join our party, but they were bringing conditions. And the party said, no, there's no condition. If you have any ambition, you have to come and contest in a competitive primaries where delegates are going to vote. Some of them, they wanted the tailor-made mandate, they went elsewhere. So not that it's bad what they did, just that it doesn't fit into how the SDP operates. So I want to run in 2027, God willing, if I'm alive, I'm healthy, I'm going to run. But the party doesn't look at me and say, oh, okay, because he wants to run, we should screen other people and ask them if they have ambition to before they can enter. No, everybody is free, and that's how it is, and that's how it should be in a democratic society, because you want your processes to throw up the best candidates, and you want people who the public might say, who is this person? But who members know that this person has these qualities to be able to compete, and that's how we be doing it. Women run on our party a platform. Young people with no money run our party platform, and that's how it is. All right. And that's how it will be.
Okay, let's move away from your party and its, of course, internal workings. Let's briefly talk about the ruling All Progressives Congress, the current administration, and some of the policies, its impact on Nigerians. The administration has said some of its policies are yielding fruit, and that maybe the cost of living is going down. As an opposition party, what's your take?
Yeah, you are the journalist. You know that data is not correct, and you should put the data in front of us to analyze. And so I don't have to be in a position to know that people are hungry. I don't need to be in a position to know that the cost of transportation is more than the salary aggregate for most families.
But they would also argue that the price of petrol is gradually coming down.
Coming down to what? So that's the question. You have reporters. Let them go to the market and show the statistics. Inflation is going up. How can the price of things go down when the inflation is rising? Recently, they went to rebase the inflation database. Are you not aware of that? So I think that this gimmick of saying that something went down is what we call it statistic. Statistic, we call it anecdotal evidence. It has no meaning. If you look at the actual data and you do the analytics, you will see that prices are going up and poverty is increasing. I think Nigerians should not be made a laughing stock by the propaganda of the APC. How can poverty index be rising, inflation rising, and then you say prices are going down? Isn't that an offense to elementary economics? So let us be serious-minded. Let us know that the policies of President Tinubu is a colossal failure. The SDP on that basic mandate. So let us not be deceived, and let us not look like when we are stating facts look like we are opposing people or we are antagonizing them. Anybody who is deceiving himself now that they can afford reasonable living in this country is up to them. But I can tell you, the statistics speaks very clearly that people need help in this country. And media should be very careful not to throw the country into further crisis by deceiving the government or allowing the government to deceive itself that people are doing well. And then next thing you see, people are in serious distress and they start to cause civil disturbance. So it is better to let the government have the feedback. It is not a bad thing for a reporter to challenge government officials with facts. It is not a bad thing for opposition to challenge the government with facts, because even though I want Tinubu to get out of that place in 2027, I want him to succeed now, and he needs accurate information, not self-deceit, which is he has allowed himself to be indulging in. The things are not working. Things should be made to work. Every cost of living is bad. Are those journalists' parents? Don't they buy food? Don't they have children in school? Don't they go around? Don't they visit hospitals? Don't you have relatives asking you to pay their medical bills? Don't you get people get stranded on the street sometimes and ask you, don't you go on location and see? Don't you see the population of orphanages that are increasing? Don't you see the distress? Well, why do you need to make something as basic as that to look like there's an opposition talking point? These are serious crises for a country of our wealth, a country of our level of education, a country that has been in a system for 65 years of sovereignty. Yeah, that's something we should be ashamed of.
Okay.
These are things like that.
Okay, just before I let you go, sir, just a quick one. I mean, if the SDP, for instance, should, be in government, just three things it will do differently.
The first thing we're going to do is to tackle poverty, because that is an insult. We need to tackle poverty because this country is wealthy. We will need to tackle insecurity immediately, and we need to tackle improve productivity And to do improved productivity, you have to give people sound education that's affordable. That's why I'm against all this policy of giving student loans and raising tuition fee and underfunding.
You're against the idea of student loans.
Secondly, excuse me?
You said you're against the idea of student loans.
I disagree with the idea of student loan. It's a no-brainer that people cannot afford it. That what you need to do is to provide facilities, improve the welfare of the teachers and the staff of the schools, and then improve the curriculum. And we can afford to pay for it because of the wealth. You look at the almost 55 trillion budget which they have cooked up now. This budget is obtuse and upside down. And they are not able to, you remember that last year, they didn't do up to 30% implementation of the budget. So they don't have a executive capacity. So we are going to be different in that regard. We are going to create employment by making sure that we do social investment and we invest in infrastructure. And we are going to ensure that in the final analysis that public revenue is managed for accountability, is managed for proper husbandry, and that the audit system works once and for all. And in final analysis, that we create wealth for the people by doing proper fiscal management. Government must capture all its revenue to the last bit, and government must govern its expenditure properly. And then the monetary policy must be made stable so that our currency will have value and remain stable, and inflation will come down to single digit and remain so. And then, what you have done that, and you raise employment and increase employment to the point where unemployment is less than 7%. Then, with investment in agriculture, with investment in infrastructure, and with delivering social services to the people, poverty will leave us alone. And if we do not politicize insecurity, and we do not monetize our law enforcement and defense budgeting, and we actually do it to secure the country, understand that sovereignty of Nigeria needs to be affirmed by the armed forces and the law enforcement agencies, we will be able to let our people work day and night. Right now, many roads in Nigeria, people are not plying the road because of fear. And when people don't ply the road, their productivity will go down because it will not become a daylight economy only. There's no country in the world who is in the G20 that is a daylight economy. They work around the clock. And that's why we used to work in Nigeria before when I was growing up. And that is what we need to do. Those are the things we are going to do differently. And we are going to unite the country and not make a politics of division.
I'm sorry, but we need to go.
Agenda.
We need to go. Thank you so much. Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Adewole Adebayo, the former presidential candidate of the SDP. It's been a pleasure having you on the program at this time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and God bless Nigeria.